Alright, welcome back to Shogun. So today we're doing an owner's review of the 2018 Giulia Quadrifoglio. A little bit unfortunate that we cannot have a JDM in this episode, but yeah, it's pretty unique having an Italian car on the channel, and yeah, this is my personal ride, is my daily. So I have this car for the past 4 to 5 years actually. I purchased the car in 2018 and it arrived in 2019. So yeah, I've been the first owner of this car, and today I'm here to tell you guys how it feels like to own this Giulia Quadrifoglio for the past 5 years. Is it reliable? How's the handling? How's the power? How's the performance? Everything. I'm gonna tell you guys deep down, and then interior, everything, I'll break it down to you guys. So yeah, let's go. Let's go! Genki. Alright, so right now we're back in day 2 of the filming session because last time when we were filming the Alfa Romeo, it was raining like dog shit. So yeah, we had to postpone the filming until the weather is clear. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about why I would purchase the Alfa Romeo Giulia. So when I first noticed about Alfa Romeo Giulia was in 2013. That was the year when they released the iconic midship 4C compact sports car, and I was amazed by the design and also the performance of the car, because I think it was a 1.8 turbocharged engine, but it has like over or about 200 or over 200 horsepower, if I'm not mistaken. That was a really iconic moment when I saw Alfa Romeo, you know, actually getting back to the car scene. So yeah, that car actually caught my attention about Alfa Romeo. So I was considering getting the 4C, but at that time I think I need a 4-seater sedan more than a sports car. I just kept waiting and waiting until they finally released the Alfa Romeo Giulia. And I think like less than half a year, they finally came out with the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio, which is like the M version or the AMG version of Alfa Romeo. Yeah, that car really caught my eye, and I really wanted to have the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. So I went to the dealership and I asked, hey, how much is it, blah blah blah. We negotiated, and then yeah, I finally purchased the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. Why I would want to have an Alfa Romeo basically is because the heritage of Alfa Romeo and also the history of Alfa Romeo in the racing scene, and also how they produce and how they make road cars and race cars. Let's talk a little bit of history about the Alfa Romeo. So back in 1950s, the first year of F1, the first season of F1, and also the second season of F1, which is 1950 and 1951. They won 2 consecutive F1 championship in those 2 years, and after that it was Ferraris for also another 2 consecutive years. So yeah, that actually proves that Alfa Romeo has a really strong racing blood and race DNA in the racing scene. They have a really strong bond also with Ferrari. Not just they're just rivals, but they actually help each other out to make and produce the road cars and also the race cars. Like the recent years, the current F1 years, when Alfa Romeo joined the F1 again, they are using Ferrari's engine, and also they are actually kind of like a B team for Ferrari. So Alfa Romeo kind of trains their F1 drivers in Alfa Romeo F1 team, and once they're ready, they would send the drivers to Ferrari's team to participate and to, you know, race in the big group, like the top group. So yeah, that shows how close Alfa Romeo and Ferraris are. So yeah, back to this car. So I purchased this car in 2018 when it first came out in Japan. This car is basically fully loaded with Apple CarPlay and all the leathers and carbon fiber trims as well. One really disappointing thing is I didn't get the carbon bucket seats by Sparkle due to Japanese regulations for the safety. The carbon bucket seats is not regulated for road driving and road safety. So yeah, there's no such option in Japan, unfortunately. And also, I did not get the 6-speed manual because I think the ZF8 is more responsive. ZF8 really serves my needs better than the manual because I already have a manual C7 Corvette C06. I also had a ND Miata and a S2K back in the day. So yeah, I was like, man, I don't need any other manual cars. So I got the ZF8 and the Alfa Romeo Giulia. For daily driving, you know, having automatic gearbox is actually way better than driving a manual. Of course, you lost a lot of driving experience and all the feedbacks of the control of the car, but I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, let's talk about the comparison between the Alfa Romeo and its rivals. BMW M3, M4s, Audi RS4, RS5, and the Mercedes-Benz C-Class AMG. So yeah, back in the day in 2018 or 2017, Alfa Romeo produced the Giulia Quadrifoglio, and it got the fastest production sedan lap time record in Nürburgring. That really caught my eye because I need not just a daily driver, I also need like a performance car that I can have fun with. That was one really good selling point. So yeah, the spec of the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio is it runs a 2.9 liter V6 twin turbo engine. It's also rear-wheel drive. Kind of similar with the BMW because the BMW M3 and M4 runs the inline 6 on the F82. Mercedes-Benz AMG has a higher spec than the BMW because the AMG has a V8 twin turbo. Yeah, that's one downside for comparing the Alfa Romeo and the Mercedes-Benz because it's a V6 and a V8, so it's, you know, 2 cylinders difference. So yeah, this engine was actually co-developed with Ferrari. So it's actually using the same block as the Ferrari V8 from the California. Yeah, they made it a 6-cylinder and all these technical terms. Also, the exhaust note, it's really iconic too for Alfa Romeo because you know, back in the day they were using the Busso engine. V6 also has like a really strong deep note of the V6. So yeah, this car has 505 horsepower and also 443 pound-feet of torque, and I think that's really enough for city driving in Tokyo and also on highway. If you want to overtake people, the ZF8 gearbox is gonna, you know, downshift it for you really quickly and, you know, aggressively too when you put it in race modes. It's a really fun car to drive, the Alfa Romeo Giulia. So yeah, aside from that, it's the design. The Italian manufacturer, Alfa Romeo, they has like a really special design, which also I think it stands out from its rivals because BMW, Audis, and Mercedes-Benz, they always have like the same, you know, similar design. Comparing the C-Class and the E-Class and the S-Class, it's just kind of like a size difference. There's no like, you know, differential. You can't really tell, oh, is that a C-Class or E-Class in, you know, from a distance. So yeah, that's one good thing about Alfa Romeo is the design. It has like a really strong Italian design language on it. And let's talk about the interior as well. So the interior, it's really well developed. Everything's covered by leather. It comes with red stitching that enhance the racing feel of the car. Most of the people, they have like a misconception of Italian cars. Like let's say, oh, Italian makers, they tend to make their, you know, buttons or, you know, display in its own way. So let's say they, you know, love putting the buttons in somewhere here or here for the e-brake, whatever. So it's like really weird positioned. But the Giulia is really modern and it has like a really modern design language too. They kind of putting everything in place that is really user-friendly. So yeah, that's one thumbs up for Alfa Romeo. They're really doing a good job for the interior design. So yeah, let's talk about the 5 years ownership of the Alfa Romeo Giulia. I've owned this car for 5 years and I've driven it for over 55,000 kilometers. One major thing about the reliability of the Alfa Romeo is the engine blew once. So one time I was driving in C1, I was having fun with some Honda EK9s and stuff. Yeah, C1 is a really tight highway, so, and also there's a lot of turns, so I have to keep the car in high RPM. So I think that kind of giving the engine a lot of stress. So yeah, the timing belt snapped, car went straight to overheat, and then coolant was boiling. So there's some like minor issues about the interior infotainment system. It always glitches out, clusters, it always like blackout. There's like, you know, sometimes it doesn't turn on and stuff. That's just some minor things that you can get over it because, you know, over time it's just gonna come back on. So, you know, it's not really a major big thing. Owning a European car, like let's say Audi, Mercedes, or BMW, I think you get less of these kind of issues. But yeah, it's Italian makers, Alfa Romeo, so it is what it is. You're buying, you know, the different kind of experience. So yeah, if you ask me, do I regret having this car? To be honest, I am 50-50 regretting having this car. It's not because I don't like this car, it's because I bought this car brand new. If I bought this car in the used car market because of the depreciation and stuff, this car right now, I got it in 1,300,000 yen when it's first launched. And now this car in the used car market is only 600,000, so it depreciated over 50% in the used car market. So if I can only spend 600,000 to have this car, I would be really happy. But if you ask me to purchase this car in 1,300,000 again, I would say no. 100%. Manufacturers with reliability issues, their cars tend to depreciate a lot. So it is what it is. I can't, you know, really complain, but I just regret. So yes, overall, I love this car for its performance, for its design, styling, and handling. But price-wise, not really happy with that, but it is what it is. I mean, you're buying this car for its race, heritage, Italian design, and the Italian title. It's not a bad car overall. There's more great cars, better cars in the used car markets for 600,000. So if you're planning to buy an Alfa Romeo, you know, think twice. Do you really need it? Are you able to, you know, handle the, you know, all these issues that I just mentioned? Bring this car back to the dealership and do a maintenance, annual checkup every year. Just maintain it well, then you will have no problem. So yeah, I hope this video answers most of the questions that you guys have. If you guys got any more questions, you guys can comment down below and let me know. I'll also be happy to, you know, answer the questions. So yeah, looking forward to see you guys next time. Snap and it goes like bah, bah. That's it for the video. Hope you guys liked it. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment down below.